Hey, welcome to video number 242 of Walker This Way with Hazel Walker, the queen of all things
BNI and networking.
I am Mark Simmons. So, Hazel,
Yeah,
all our topics are on networking.
yeah.
Networking, well, most of them are. How to build
A
your
lot of them
business.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of talk about networking, and all of you have always talked about networking, and you have a network, or you might think you have a network. But really, when is the best time, Ms. Walker, to build your network?
You know when is the very best time to plant an oak tree?
When?
100 years ago.
Ah,
You know what's the second best time? Today,
yeah. The right time is right now.
right? The right time is right now.
Yeah.
So the reason the best time to build a network, plant your tree,
Mhm.
it takes 100 years for an oak tree to really reach maturity,
Right.
right? But if we didn't plant them then, it's then plant them today because 100 years from now they'll hit their maturity and you'll have massive oak trees, right?
Right.
It's the same with a network. So people have a tendency to wait until they need their network before they even start to build it. So there's this group of people that are running around getting lots of contacts and names, right? And they call that their network. But the problem is, if they needed to be bailed out of jail, who are the ones in that network that are going to actually do it?
Yeah.
Well, what's the relationships like? So during COVID, that we kind of all got put in jail,
Yes.
right? Like lockdown. We were in lockdown,
We were in lockdown.
right?
Yes.
Those people that didn't have networks couldn't build them then because it takes time. You have time and money, right? You spend money for advertising, marketing, all of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But to build a solid network that's going to generate referrals for you, that takes time.
Right.
That takes focused, intentional time. And that's one of the reasons groups like BNI, close contact groups that have systems in place, allow you to work on the network of all those names that you've gathered up, where you have a relationship and you can call on people. And great conversations in BNI are how some of our members in BNI chapters survived and thrived during COVID because they spent time building a network long before COVID came along.
Right.
For instance, Nicole with the catering. How many caterers went out of business during COVID because there was nothing for them to do? But her chapter came up with all kinds of new things that she could do, and she thrived through it.
Yeah.
Right? It was still there at the end. Right? So you're building a network has to happen in advance. And for instance, the economy is scary right now. It is scary, and all prediction is it's going to get scarier. If you haven't built your network, you need to plant your tree today. Right. You need to plant your tree today, and you need to start looking at how am I going to develop the relationships with the people in my network so that when I need them to help me stay in business, they're there and they're trained and educated and they know what I'm looking for and they trust me and they will do it.
Yeah.
Right? So the best time to build a network is when you don't need your network, because that's when you have the time to invest in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know during lockdown, especially in the beginning, a lot of chapters had no problems inviting visitors and having some growth because those outside of BNI realized that BNI members had what they needed most, which was these deep-seated already networks and the relationships.
And a great many of those people who joined during COVID left because it didn't work for them.
Yeah.
Because they only gave it 1 year. They thought they could build all these relationships of trust and that they would immediately start getting business, which never works because you have to invest time into building the relationships and building the trust and training the people in the room how to get referrals for you. It's year 2 and year 3 where you really start to see the results of your investment in year 1. And so if you think that the economy is going to go bad and looking into the future 1 year and more, that's looking pretty likely. Now's the time to be planting your tree.
Right.
Now is it.
Yeah. So, good news, if you don't have a network, you have time.
You have time. You need to get started.
And if you do have a network, now's not the time to stop the relationships. All right, I'm good. I have enough. I got a good network, and check out because you'll lose them quickly too.
Yep. Out of
Keep it
sight, out
going.
of mind.
Right. So keep the relationships going. Build your network
Build it when you don't need it.
when you don't need it. Good stuff. All right. Till next time, Hazel.
See you then.
Bye.